All right, first and foremost, I give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well and who was worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutation to you brothers out there pushing the truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. All right, it's the brother Gabar from the Indiana camp coming at you again, one other sit down. And this is just basically lying back off the Elder Ayash video that he did, which is I think it's titled "Token of Her Virginity." I'm not 100% sure though, but I'm basically gonna put the link to the elders video below in the description box, and because I can't play the video because I think they took the video offline or they took the video down, so I can't play the video because I don't have the video. And if you want to see the video that I'm talking about, you can go to the elders video and watch it on his video because he has the video playing on the lesson that he did about it. But anyways, yeah, basically the video is showing that the family, especially the mother, is celebrating that her daughter, I guess I guess her daughter was betrothed, or her daughter was I don't know, I guess, it wasn't a marriage arrangement or anything, but basically they gave her daughter off to go lie with a young man. And I guess after they did the deed, it found out that their daughter was a virgin because they put they looked like they put like maybe a shirt or some type of towel under them, and it had a blood stain on it. So that means she was a virgin when she, when he broke her Heimlich, which an issue of blood came out, and she was a virgin, and the family was celebrating. The all the sisters was happy, the mother was dancing, I think the grandmother was looking like she was happy. The young lady, she was smiling, happy and everything, and basically they were excited. They were excited because the young lady wasn't a whore. She wasn't a harlot or a so-called thought, if you will. She actually kept her virginity, which nowadays is extremely hard, especially here in the States, for a woman to go 14, 15, 16 to keep their virginity. It's hard, like me myself personally, I lost my virginity when I was 14, so and then from 15 to 16 to 17 all the way up until I became an adult, it was just constantly, with different other, women, different other females who've been lost their virginity. Every female that I had, I was like, oh, did you lose your virginity? And I'm a teenager, and it's, oh yeah, I lost it 2 guys ago or 3 guys ago sometimes, or sometimes I'll be the third person, so two guys ago she lost her virginity, or sometimes 4 or 5 guys ago that she lost her virginity, and they're only 14, 15, sometimes 13, so here you are. Your virginity is supposed to be given to the man that you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life. And before you even hit a so-called adulthood in Esau's kingdom, 18, you already been laying down with 4 to 5 guys already, So yeah, you would be considered a harlot or a whore, because your husband is not getting a pure, untouched woman. All right. He's getting something that other men skeeted off into and basically banged off him, man. All right, he's not getting a pure how can I say he's not getting a pure woman, He's getting basically leftovers. All right, and no one likes leftovers, So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in the law. This is Deuteronomy chapter 22, and verse 13. It says, "And if a man take a wife and go unto her and hate her," it says, "and give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came unto her, I found her not a maid," and basically I didn't find her a virgin. All right, so the man, he's mad because really he's mad because he doesn't want to be the woman no more. And he said, hey, listen, she wasn't a virgin when I first got her. So it says, then shall the father of the damsel bring, and the mother take and bring forth the token of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city and the gates. And that token is what? That issue of blood that came out when they first consummated the marriage. All right. When he first took her into the bedchambers and laid with her, and she was a virgin, guess what? There was going to be an issue of blood coming out, and it was going to be on that towel, sheets, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be an issue of blood on there, and then they fold it up, and then that's her token of virginity. All right, that the father keeps just in case what this man is saying. Hey, you didn't give me a virgin. Yes, I did, because here it is right here. It says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he have given occasions of speech against her, saying, I find not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the token of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him. All right. So basically, what happened in that video, you'll see that they're parading around with the sheet or whatever, and basically you see the issue of blood on it. They're parading around with the sheet because that's a noble and that's a just thing. All right, not parading around with the sheet, but that's a noble and just thing in the sight of a woman is what? To give her virginity unto a man that she's going to be with for the rest of her life. All right, whether that man wants to or not, because in this scenario, what the man is trying to get rid of the woman, saying, "No, you this you didn't give me a virgin. I want to get rid of her. And then what? The father came because actually, like the elder said in his video, you're putting a bad reputation onto that man. You're putting a bad reputation on that man, on that man's household. Because if you're saying, oh, he didn't give me a virgin, he gave me a used up a woman that already lost her virginity, then guess what? You're gonna have other people saying, oh yeah, well, if he has other daughters, then guess what? He doesn't know how to run his household. He let his daughters do whatever, His daughter's out there just willy-nilly, He's not going to give you a clean virgin daughter, And then also you're messing with his money, because the scriptures say a man with many daughters is a very rich man, all right? Because when you give your when you give your daughter away to a man, that man is supposed to give you back, I believe it's 5 shekels of gold or silver. He basically supposed to pay you. All right, you get basically money to give your daughter unto him. All right, so if a man has many daughters, if you have 8, 9, 10 daughters, by the time they're getting their age, you're gonna get some return profit. You're gonna get something in return for that. All right. So but if you're tarnishing that man's name, saying, oh yeah, he doesn't give away virgin daughters, that's gonna put a bad reputation on him. You're messing with him in his household, man. All right. And that's why you should get chastised for stuff like that. All right. So that custom that you see in that video, that's one of our customs. That's actually in the law that we're supposed to do. All right. Now, let me get this scripture right here. This is Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 9. It says, and the daughter of if any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her father, she shall be burnt with fire. All right. Yeah, man. See, so because a woman's virginity, it all counts on that man's household, her father's household. So if she's going out there playing the whore, then guess what? She's profaning also herself, but she's profaning also her family, her father more so, it's profaning him, which means what is put in the word profane is basically means defile. To profane, to break, to begin. So to profane, defile, pollute, discreet, begin, defile pollute oneself, So yeah, she's polluting. First of all, she's polluting herself, and then she's defiling her father's reputation, his name. All right. Now this is funny because when I read this scripture, when I watched the elder's video, and I was thinking about, he was talking about, you're defiling that man's name. Now he's gonna become a laughing stock or whatever. It made me think about the church girls. Now it's actually a known stereotypical It's actually a known stereotypic thing that the pastor's daughters are gonna grow up to be the biggest hoes. Like they grow up and become one if not one of the biggest hoes in the church, and they're the pastor's daughters. They grow up pregnant real early. They grow up sneaking out the house. They grow up what is it? They grow up completely unruly. Where it's actually a saying. It's actually a stereotypic thing where if the girl of a pastor is or she's one of them, she's the pastor's daughter. The pastor's daughters are basically the hoes. They are representation of the hoes. All right. So it's funny how the Lord had it where on this side you have these so-called pastors that's not really pastors because they're not feeding the people with actually a good. They're not feeding the people with a good pasture, because that's what the word pasture comes from. It comes with the word pasture, which that's what the sheep eats off of, is basically grass. But you have these so-called pastors in this lifetime, in this on this side, where they're actually being defiled, because their daughters are out there being hoes, So that's the Lord showing you how defiled these men are, man. All right, these pastors of these churches, how defiled and how wicked they are, man. Because one, look at how their daughters act, and two, they're not feeding the people with the right type of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Because if they was, they would be having their daughters in check and in line. All right. So it shows you how defiled and wicked them men are, man. Because they're not doing their job, man. They're supposed to be feeding the people with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man, like the scriptures say, man. But they're not doing it. All they care about is what? Passing that collection plate and getting tax write-offs, man. That's all they care about, man. It's all about the money, the money, the money, the money, the money. That's why that collection plate goes around so many amount of times, man. And they get tax write-off on every little thing that's in that building, man. All right? And plus they up under the gag order, So they can't even talk about certain things no more. All right? So I just find that funny now because we're talking about well, I ain't gonna say I find this funny. It's the spirit that I'm talking about. How precious is it a woman to keep her virginity, not only for her sake, but to keep a good name on her father. And then around now, it's a known saying as about the pastor's daughter being one of the biggest hoes, man. Matter of fact, the so-called church I went to when I was little, the pastor had twins. The pastor, he had two twin daughters, man. By the time I got 14, 15, they were complete hoes. I think one of them, they both got caught with dudes in the house, with men, with other teenage boys in their rooms, and one of them ended up getting pregnant early, So it's a known thing about pastors' daughters being the biggest hoes, man, and that just shows you how wicked and defiled these pastors are, man. All right. So, I'm going to put the video down in the description box. In the description box, so you can go and click on and watch the elders video. I got one more verse. I got one more scripture I'm going to pull. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 36. It says, "But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age," which is what when she starts getting menstrual cycles, that's the flower of her age. It says, "He needs so required. Let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry." All right. So if she's past the flower of his age, then guess what? He's okay to have sex with that woman, man. All right, because that's exactly what she is. When she passed the flower of her age is what it's talking about when she gets on that menstrual cycle. Just like I told the brother at a Bible study later on today, I was like, bro, what is a menstrual cycle? What does a menstrual cycle signify when a woman starts it? He said that they can have babies. I was like, exactly. See, so that menstrual cycle, when it starts, that means what? They are ready to produce children. That doesn't mean that they need to sit for another couple years before they can produce children. No. That's not how it is, man. That menstrual cycle starts when that woman is ready to produce a child. Just like when you ready to pick a certain fruit or certain things, or when the steak gets completely well done, you know, is ready to be eaten. It's ready to be plucked, you know. You don't let that steak sit in there for an extra 30 to 45 minutes, or you don't let that apple sit on a tree when it's ready to be picked and ripe and eaten. You don't let the apple sit on a tree for another week or two. Who's to say? Only reason why Esau pushes that, oh, she has to be 18 and is because guess what? By the time she's 18, she's already used up, man. She's already been defiled because because once they become that once they become that that's why you got teen pregnancies such as a high rate, and teen sex such as a high rate, because women, they can't really hold themselves when it comes to when they can't really hold themselves when it comes to that when it comes to sex, man, especially when you're young and and that's all you think about, you know. They'll be burning. You know, that's why when they go out to college girls just give it up to anybody, man, because they've been suppressed, and they've been basically up under their parents who've been watching over them, you know. So when they go to college and they get that little bit of freedom, then what? They just giving it to anybody, man. It's extremely easy to get some box in college, man. You know? So what else I say? Yeah, that's basically it. That's all I had. Lord willing, I hope this video was edifying for you brothers. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kokodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. He is worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutation to you brothers out there pushing the truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. All right, with that, shalom.